Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bobby, and today we're going to do part 2 of my houseplant tour. I'm going to take you around and show you all the plants that I have inside. I have gathered them all up and put them in this one room so we don't have to run all over the house. So it'll be real easy to show you. So here we go. Okay, the first plant on the tour is my Cebu Blue Pothos. I've had this plant for probably about a year now, and she was just like a $15 hanging basket from Walmart. I think it was like $14.99 or something like that. And she was only like, just what you get at Walmart, just like a little bit below the pot, and that's about it. Now she's trailing up and over, so she's growing really good. I think she's really pretty. I think I am gonna take this bottom bit off here where it starts getting a little naked and propagate that stuff, because she got a little beat up from having her outside. You can see she's got a little bit of yellowing from just like adapting to her spot. She was hanging outside, literally right outside this spot and that hook up there in the ceiling, so it's not too much further, but she's got to adjust. Anyway, the next one is this sad little jade plant. She's actually one of my older plants. I've had her for probably 8 or 10 years now, something like that. Then she got really broke when we moved. She lost a big old chunk of her stem. And I just can't bring myself to chop her back. I know I probably should and just start her over, but I don't know. She's kind of wonky, and I dig wonky. I think that's cool. So then above that, I have a Brazil philodendron propagation that is probably just going to stay in the water, because her variegation is actually prettier now. The new stuff that's coming out here is really a lot prettier than, the old stuff is. So I don't know. She's kind of got a cool shape and looks pretty, so I'm just going to keep her there. And the next one is a Birkin philodendron that I think is trying to revert. And I just wanted a little plant up here, so I pulled her out of the big main Birkin that I have and threw her in some water. I just grabbed a cup out of the cupboard and stuck her in it. So that's that one. And then in here, I can turn this light on for you, maybe see a little better. There's a couple of orchids that I potted up in here, and she actually rebloomed after the first time around. I've never had that happen before, so that was kind of neat. And then I just have a little heartleaf philodendron start in here. And then next to that is the main Birkin that I pull all my little guys off of. I've had this plant for actually not very long. I picked her up at like Home Depot. They have them all the time for really cheap. But she was really, really full, so I was able to take a bunch of like pups off of her and thin her out some. So she's got this pretty like dark to light, light to dark gradient going on, instead of just having like, she's kind of like Dalmatian before. So, but she's a pretty one, and I really like Birkin philodendrons. I don't like it when they get the white leaves. You can see here she's missing a leaf, and that's because when it started coming out and it started open, it was all white, and it didn't even get all the way open. It already had brown on it. So I always just cut those off, and usually when you cut them off, the next couple will be just normal again. But every now and then you get a white one, and it just looks ugly. I don't like a brown, ugly, brand new leaf, So I just take that off. So, and then above that, I have a little philodendron hope propagation that is probably gonna just stay in this little prop bottle, because I think it just looks cool, she could probably do better if I potted her into soil, but don't they all? I just like how she looks like that, She doesn't really grow, but she doesn't die off. Every now and then she'll get a yellow leaf, and I'll just pluck that one off, and then she'll get 3 more leaves and get another yellow one. But so she pretty much just stays this size. I don't know, I like it. I think it looks cool. So, and then next to her, I have the big Monstera that I was telling you about before in the last video that I got from an estate sale. You guys, I paid 20 bucks for this plant. And when I got this plant, it was split. Like you can see down here, there are no leaves all the way up this vine, almost to there before you get your first, and maybe this, yeah, all the way up to this leaf bracket right here. There's no leaves because these vines were laying on the floor under furniture. There was tables on top of them. And then these were all growing out behind the couch. So they were all twisted and wonky and all of that. And like, I brought it home, and the first thing I did was just like tie it together. And then I built this ladder for her and tied her to the ladder and then the ladder to the wall because she fell down. But 20 bucks, like it needed a cleanup, and I'll get rid of some of these. Like this leaf was completely like upside down, like weird and wonky, and it's slowly starting to turn, and you know, I could cut it off, but I kind of feel like it's green still and it's not yellow, so it's helping the plant. It's photosynthesizing and it's helping her to the point where she's got her first new leaf for me here. And like when I popped her up and stood her up, all this new stuff started coming out. So hopefully that stuff will fill in all this naked spot down here, and then she'll get bigger up to there, and it'll be really cool for 20 bucks, pot included. Like that's a really nice ceramic, you know, nice pot. So I was stoked. You know, again, look for estate sales and yard sales and stuff like that. You know, sometimes people have a really big old plant they just don't know what to do with, and that was the situation with this. Well, I know what to do with it. And then this plant is actually the one plant that I told you about in the last video and then forgot to show you that I spent more than $20 on. I spent $29 on this plant, this pink princess, at a greenhouse in Janesville, Wisconsin. And I think she's pretty. She doesn't have like the best, this lighting is kind of not good. She doesn't have the best pink on her. Let's see if I can get closer here. As you can see, she just has a few little spots here, and like this one just has, you can't even really see, they have just itty bitty little specks. But like it's got pink on the back of the leaves. I don't know what's up with that. But she's pretty, and I really liked how big her leaves were. And at the time I got her, Walmart was selling them at about this size for $24.99, and this one was $29.99. And she was also on clearance. She was marked down 50%. So I was like, it's above my budget, but she's on clearance. So, you know, a good deal is a good deal. But I just thought, man, I can pay $4 less and stay closer to my budget and get this, or I can get this and this for, you know, no brainer. And I just put her on this pole so she'll go straight. As you can, you know, she'll grow nice and smooth like that. As you can see, she was really kind of twisted and turned in the pot and kind of hanging out. So now she's growing nice and you know, so hopefully we'll get her to grow nice. She does have these nice big leaves, and she's got another new one coming here. So I mean, she just keeps getting bigger and prettier, and I think she's a pretty plant, so she was worth it. Broke my rule. And then above her, I have a heartleaf philodendron that I bought at Menards or Home Depot, and it was, again, during a plant sale they were having. And she's pretty long. She was just in a 6-inch pot, and she was real little when I got her, and so all this kind of has grown since I brought her home. And I brought her and another one at the same time, and you know, she is not winning the race. The other one is doing much better. I put that one on a pole. I'll show you in a minute. And this one is just kind of a little bit more spindly, I guess you would say, than the other one. The other one's really, really full, but anyway, she's pretty still. She's elegant. I'm gonna start, if you can see up here, I have these dowels up because I didn't want to put holes in the woodwork because it's a really old house and has this cool woodwork, and I was like, ah. So I just put dowels up on top to hang the plants from. So eventually I'm thinking I'm going to run some of these vines up to that and then just let it wrap around and grow up on there. So anyway, that's that. Then up here is the other Hoya cutting from the front porch. I told you I had those two. The one is in like aquarium substrate, the other one is just in soil, and this one is in water. And now, like, as you can see, this is the cutting that I took off the main plant. Okay, this is every leaf that was there when I took it. Nothing. But look at the roots on that puppy. I mean, if you're counting that, she's keeping up, but nothing above, nothing at all. Like, nothing. So, that's what I said before, that like, the soil and the substrates, I just plopped them right in there right away, and they seem to be doing all right. She's not doing bad, but she's not gotten any new growth, just roots. So, then next to that are a couple of, I don't know, like kind of lower quality, but they're still pretty. They got like purple. This looks like it's going to have more pink on it when it opens. But these are little baby pink princesses off of that other pink princess. So there's 2 of them in here and then 2 in there. So I got 4 for the $5, you know, more. But these guys will get potted up and probably given as gifts because they're pretty. And then I have a little Peperomia pilea baby in here that's just hanging out. He just got pulled off the bigger one that I have. She's not huge, but she's bigger. Then behind that, there's just a propagation of a couple of my other plants. That's there's a Cebu Blue prop in here, and then there's a Dragon Tail prop in here. Now I feel like they look really similar. They're just slightly different shades, the blue and then the more yellowish green. So I don't know, I thought that would be kind of a pretty plant if I could get it going. So I just did that propagation. And then behind that, I have just a money tree, standard money tree that you can buy anywhere, umbrella tree, whatever you want to call them. I have no idea what the scientific name is for it. It's just, you know. But it's pretty, and I liked how tall it was and nice. So, but she doesn't really, I mean, I'm not sure how much bigger this thing is going to get, but it doesn't seem to grow very fast for me. So maybe I got it in just like out of the window light enough to where she's kind of not happy. But we'll see. Okay, then over here I have a white wizard, and I actually have all of the variegation pointed out the window because I don't want it to die. But as you can see, like I was saying before, brown. It's always that white that wants to start dying on you. Look, see? Everything else looks great. It's always the white parts that gotta have problems. So, but he was actually at Walmart, and I think it was like $15, and they have a whole bunch of them just recently that were available, so I snatched one up. And this one wasn't, like I said, I don't know, the white variegation is pretty, but when you get too much of it, like I wouldn't want to have this all over, and then as soon as it has issues, all this brown is just all over all the pretty white that stands out the most. It just doesn't look good to me. So I'm cool with having just a few specks of here and there variegation because the plant is healthier, it does better, so I'm all right with that. Like I said before, I'm not trying to spend hundreds of dollars on a plant that's just going to look like crap the whole time I have it. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, that's perfectly fine, but I want easy plants. I don't want to be, humbled by a plant. It's just not necessary. So anyway, carrying on. Next to that is actually the one I'm most proud of. Now, I've had this since it was a wet stick. This is Monstera Adansonii, and I got it, if you can see, down in there when it was like, let's see if I can get a good view here. Where are we? That little little bitty piece of stem right there. That's all it was. So I got it and it wrapped it in paper towel until it got roots, and then stuck it in some soil, put it under a dome and watered him, and that's what he's turning into. And I want to just try to get him to go straight up. I know obviously I have to upsize and all of that eventually, but he's just one stem for now. I just want to try to get him straight up, because I seen on YouTube there's a few really popular YouTubers that do moss poles. And one lady does leca, and she has pothos leaves that are just, whoa, they're huge, and I think it's just awesome. So I'm gonna try to copy them and see what I can do. But this guy just, by the time he gets big, the fact that he was just like an inch long little piece of stem when I got him will just mean the world to me, I think. So, but he's really neat, and I want him to get bigger. So, and then next to that, I just have a golden pothos that I put on a pole, and it actually is working. These leaves have gotten a lot bigger since I put them on here. This is kind of where they started, and here we are now. But that's just a golden pothos, and I've had this one for quite a while, and it's part of the other little piece that was out on the front porch, and I'm just now getting it. I don't know, people are always like, pothos is easy, but this is the first time I've really had one do really anything. I guess it's just I take them for granted. They're so easy, I just don't take care of them good. But I'm trying with this one, so we'll see what happens. Then next to that is either a Congo or a Rojo philodendron. I think it's a Congo, a red Congo. I don't know. It was really small when I got it. Probably like 3 or 4 little leaves on it. And I put him in here and tied him to the pole so he wouldn't grow all crooked and weird. And he just keeps getting bigger. He's beautiful though. I love the color. I love this like wine red with green. I think that's so pretty. And I probably had this plant for like 1.5 years or so, maybe something like that. She's doing pretty good. So, and then next to her, I have my little purple passion plant, and I just picked her up for like $4 at Walmart, probably. I don't even remember, but she's like the 57th one of these that I've had. But I think I cracked a code. Like, I figured it out. These actually, they just die on their own. If you don't break them off and put them back up in the dirt, they age, and then they look terrible, and then you're like, ew, this plant is dead. And that's what happened to me every time. So, and I never realized you could just break this off and stick it right in there like a Tridescantia. So that is what I'm going to do this time, and I'm going to see if I can get this one to get big. I've tried this, like I said, like 57 times, and rest in peace, poor little soldiers, but this guy's gonna make it, I don't know. Sometimes, you pot up a plant and that's just like their final resting place, and there's nothing you can do about it, until you learn, Then next to this, I have my Thaumatophyllum that I also got. I got the same time and place as that pink princess, and she was only $20. She was much smaller though, in like a 6-inch pot. And she has grown like crazy. I mean, just like crazy. Let's see. This is the newest leaf on here, and she is just so pretty. I think this is such a neat plant. And it's a common plant. I don't have any rare plants because, I'm not trying to be humbled. I want plants that look good. I don't want to have to struggle, So, but she is really pretty, and she makes me happy. So I've had her, like I said, the same amount of time I had the pink princess. And she's, both this greenhouse in Janesville, she's awesome. I mean, they are growing really, really well. And both of the plants that I've gotten from there are really, really nice plants. So, and then here behind it, we have a dragon tail pothos or philodendron. Again, just a neat find that I found at Walmart in a hanging pot that was, I think this was in a 6-inch pot, and I've up-potted it. I repotted it one time, I think it was, Yeah, it was in one of those smaller hanging pots that they have there. So it was only like $9.99 or something like that. But it was cool to find it. And it really does look a lot like a Cebu Blue. It's just got the more traditional green tones to it. So I thought that cutting together would be pretty. And then next to that, I have a Brazil philodendron. Now, she just took a beating out on the front porch. She actually got slammed into the porch ceiling. We had like 80-mile-an-hour winds, so she got a little chumped up. And then I gave the cuttings away to the neighbor down the street, but she's pretty. She was prettier. She had another big long vine over here that got broke off, but that's all right. She'll grow back. I've had her for probably a year, and she was another one I found, I think, at Menards. And she was only about here, and she was like in their $12 plant rack, and I thought, oh, cool, a Brazil, I like that, So anyway, that's her. And then above that, I have a Pilea, and she is going through a little bit of trauma from being moved. She was out on the front porch until about a week or so ago. Well, right before I did the last video, I pulled her in because she started getting this yellowing and she hasn't really recovered. And this is the one I took the little baby pup off of. I mean, I think she's gonna be fine. I think she just needs to adjust, but that's that cool looking plant. I don't know, that's cool. I hope she gets better, and if not, I'll just buy another one, cause it's cool. So I'm not gonna go punish myself. Why would I do that? But anyway, then we gotta go, excuse me, over here. I have a couple more that are inside here. I have this big giant peace lily that I think it's a large form. I mean, yeah, the leaves are really big. So, and then she's got like 8 flowers on it right now. She's really cool. But I got this plant at Walmart, and she was on clearance because, I'll go around this side of the chair here. She was like, you can still kind of see where she's like split down the middle, and she was flopped over on either side, really wilted and everything. But like anybody who knows peace lilies, you give them a good drink and they come back. Well, the lady actually marked her down again to $6 and some change right there next to me, because I guess she was like, I want it to live, And then I wrapped a trash bag around it and tied it up because it was really big and flopped all over, and people were looking at me like, what are you doing? It's dead. But I took her home and I watered her and I put her in a bigger pot, and now she's got all this new growth in the center that's coming up. And then as that comes and these go, I'll, trim that off and everything. But it's like gave her a new lease on life. Again, she was at Walmart, $6 on clearance. But she's pretty. I'd say she's probably like 3 feet wide. And she is up on this old hat box. But standing on the floor, she's about up to my hip. So she's a good sized plant. She's a good space filler, and she likes... I'm sure she'd do fine in brighter light, but she's happy in the light in this spot, so we're leaving her there. Then next to her, I have the main portion of the silver sword philodendron that I took the cutting off that's on the front porch, and this plant is beautiful. I love it. It was about the size of the white wizard over on the shelf over there when I got her, and I've only had this plant like 5 months. I am not kidding, and it has grown literally from like a small plant about this big to all of this. Like, it is pretty. I mean, maybe a little longer than that. I think maybe around like January 23, beginning of the year. Because she was a lot smaller. So, because I have a budget and, I can get them. I just can't get big fancy ones. I have to grow it. But she is a very pretty plant. I really like this color a lot. I like the way the leaves have a lot of variety. As they mature, they change shape. They get these nice big, bunny ears on the top. And I think that's cool. I like how they do that. It's like a monstera. They change shape like that. And then here is the last one on the houseplant tour. This is the other Hartley philodendron that is winning the race. The other one just does not even compete, does it? I got this one, and oh yeah, you can't see that one right there at the same time. And this guy I put on a pole to grow up to see if these leaves would upsize and get big, or if it would just get, really tall, whatever. But I think this one's winning the race. And again, that was just a cheap big box store buy. It wasn't an expensive plant at all, but it's a pretty one, So, and then, for watering these guys, I have aquariums. I have one little aquarium right there hiding in the leaves, and then I have this big aquarium here with my flower horn in it. And I just stir up the water. Hey, baby fish. I stir up the water and get it all mucky and yucky when she needs her tank cleaned out, and then I take all that mucky yucky water and I water the jungle. So they seem happy about it. I'll show you more. I can't wait to see what this all looks like once everything else gets moved in too, because this is only like 30 plants in here, and I have the whole front porch that still has to come inside. Luckily, I'm pretty sure I got the room. So anyway, well, thanks for watching my video. I hope you had a good time. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, sorry, I'll try better next time. Next time I think we're gonna go in the backyard and do a tour of my crazy vegetable garden that is actually first year insane. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.